Welcome back to Nathan Bacon Jerky, the FPL Knee-Jerk podcast. But that wasn't the only thing I was jerking this weekend, as I bench boosted in game week 1 and reached 3rd in the entire world. As you can see right here, I made a video about it. I bench boosted in FPL game week 1, reached 3rd in the world, where I actually go through and react to the games as they went. And yeah, we got to 3rd in the world. Right, I know I'm a cheeky scrub, but how have I managed that? But today on the agenda, we're going to have a little chinwag about that, how it felt, how it feels to at once be 3rd in the entire world in FPL. 3rd. Just, it still hasn't sunk in. Like, you know, you could say it's a bit of a meme, it's a bit of a joke. I bench boosted game week 1, who seriously does that? It doesn't matter. 3rd in the world. Right, I know I'm just keeping on about it, but, you know, I got to milk it whilst it lasts, alright? Call me Nathan Bacon Farm from now on. All the milking's going to be done. But this was my Game Week 1 team in all of its sexy glory. 101 total points in the end. And an overall rank of 73. 73rd in the world by the end of, well, Sunday. But the end of yesterday, Saturday. It hasn't quite updated for the Sunday games just yet. So, unfortunately, yeah, no longer 3rd in the world. Unsubscribed. Nah, he's already fallen down the ranks, alright? No, that's just the way it goes, right? But we did get to 3rd. So, you know, if you just take off that 70, I'm back to 3rd again. Did I mention I got to 3rd in the world? Yeah, I'm not sure I did. But let's actually go through the team. I'm going to go through the games because, you know, this is the whole point of this podcast was supposed to be knee-jerk about the games that have just happened. So I'm actually going to chinwag about them and then move on to reviewing them, giving a bit of a knee-jerk, be like, oh, that player looks very good, get him in for next week. But obviously, I'm not playing FPL seriously. I mean, I say that, I got to 3rd in the world, right? But, I'm having a bit of a joke with it. Nobody else would game week 1 bench boost and only choose players on a Saturday to do a vlog for it, but that's what we do here, right? We do it different. But the FPL action started on the Friday with Burnley versus Man City, the battle of the Baldies. Company back in the league versus Pep. I mean, Company didn't really do a good advert for himself for Burnley, you know. People say Burnley played well. Did they, though? Did they? I don't think they actually created a chance. I mean, their team, looking at their players, pretty crap. So I guess in relative terms, you could say, yeah, it's not too bad. But no. Terrible. All right. When I see those Ireland points, then, yeah, well, to be fair, you can do that against any team in the world. But, yeah, just before the deadline on Friday, oh, it was proper manic, all right? I finished work about 4-ish, half 4-ish, and then the deadline 2 hours away. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to watch all the deadline streams and just do what everybody else probably did in the FPL last day, you know, unless you're at Fantasy Football Fest. Wish I could go this year, but I couldn't. I went last year, probably going to go next year. Anyway, yeah. Approaching deadline and everything's just going swimmingly. I think my team wasn't quite this. I didn't have Rico Lewis, I didn't have Martinez, I didn't have De Bruyne, and I did have Odegaard, I did have Ederson, and I had John Stones. I think that was the only changes. And then literally, what, are there about 30 minutes before deadline? All of the leaks, literally every single one of them, the entire Man City team got leaked. I didn't even need to watch the game. I swear the script for the game already got leaked. I already knew the final score before it started. But in those leaks, it showed that Stones wasn't starting. And it also showed that De Bruyne was starting. And I was like, this is proper tickling my pickle, you know. Because I was attacking this game week 1 for the bench boost. I was like, right, nobody... Well, I say nobody's going to have De Bruyne. I bet he was still like 13%. Like, why is he 13% owned? The people who actually own De Bruyne don't play FPL properly. That includes me. But yeah, I was like, you know what? De Bruyne starting. I'm only doing this for game week 1 because, spoiler alert, I have actually free hit for game week 2. So we'll get into that after we chinwag about the games. But yeah, I was like, nobody got De Bruyne. Oh, there's surely some upside points there. I mean, the only upside point there was a free ambulance trip back all the way to Manchester because injured in 20 minutes, 1 point. Yeah, that was pretty unlucky. And... well, obviously Stones didn't play, so if I did keep him, I would have lost a player essentially, and in his place I got Rico Lewis, so I gained points from that league, but also I didn't actually because I would have had Ederson in goals, and I think somebody in my league, right, I thought I did well, right, somebody in my league, you obviously are watching, so hello, shout out to you, you managed to get 102 points. Why is that? Because you have my exact draft that I had before I made changes. And they got 102 points and, well, 125th in the world. That must have just updated. Oh, no. No, we've got down to 201. Oh, boys, the ranks dropping like non-stop. Unsubscribe. Delete the channel. It's all going downhill from here. No. But yeah, fair play to this geese because I mean, I say fair play. You did copy my team. This might even be your second account, but it doesn't matter because you beat me and you beat most of the people in the world. But it does also show me that if I didn't make those changes at the last minute, then it would have been even better. Third in the world. That could have probably been like second or first in the world at a point. Oh, well. I like it. But even though a De Bruyne got injured, I definitely can be happy with a Rico Lewis clean sheet, which, you know, saved me the money to get De Bruyne. So if De Bruyne paid off, that would have been an absolute masterclass. But at least we did get a Haaland masterclass. But, I mean, it's Haaland. It's not even a Haaland masterclass anyway. This is just his flaw. He's guaranteed to get that many goals, that many points. Because he's just a freak, isn't he? He just is. But in that game, it was pretty just... Well, actually, you know what? Man City didn't even play well. And looking at their squad now, you know, they've lost some big players. Gundogan's out. Mahrez left. It just looks... not great. I mean, their defense and their defense depth is crazy, you know. Bringing on players like Gvardiol and they had Diaz and Stones not playing. It's like, what? But their attack, Foden started. I mean, he does about 3 little tricks, does some 5-star skill moves in the middle of the pitch, but then does nothing else. Alvarez, I mean, he gets involved, but I don't think he's quite there to be like, right, I'm one of the best players in the world right now. I need to start every game. And then Grealish, did he do much when he came on? I don't even know. But, actually, no. We're saying about this. There's one player that, you know, completely stole the show. He should be essential for Man City players. All Man City players in your team. Get rid of them and get this guy, is Rodrigo. Or should we call him Rodrigo? With a goal, an assist, a clean sheet, all the bonus points. I think it is actually his biggest FPL haul ever. And he's already, I'm pretty sure, let's have a check. I'm pretty sure, oh, not quite. He's the second most transferred in player. So as you can see there, 127,000 transfers in, 127,000 cheeky scrubs that have absolutely no clue about FPL and are probably going to delete their team when Rodrigo probably gets like a red card next week instead. And like it. But yeah, pretty standard for Man City. And after that game, you know, I think I had about, what's that, 30 odd points. 33, quick maths. It's probably wrong now, isn't it? Oh, wait, it is right. See, Bacon Boy. Not just an FPL expert getting to third in the world. Have I mentioned that yet? I don't know. But I'm also maths genius. But yeah, after that, 32 points. I think I was like, well, I just had 32. It's 33, innit? Maybe I'm not a maths genius. No. Unquick maths. But yeah, after that, I think it was like 500,000th in the world. And mainly because pretty much everybody else only had like a Haaland captain. And I don't even think many other content creators actually stuck with any Man City defenders. And definitely not Ederson in the end. And I mean, they were the best. They didn't even look troubled. Ederson only made 1 save. But yeah, after that game, it was going pretty well. But I was like, you know, good start. I was taking screenshots and be ahead of all the other content creators. So it was like, this isn't going to last, right? I'm ahead of everybody. Not going to stay ahead. Get all the evidence I can and then watch it all go downhill. But actually, it didn't. Whereas we go into the next game with Arsenal Nottingham Forest. Oh yeah, before the deadline, there was also some Gabriel Gate, we should say. Gabriel the defender, not Gabriel Jesus, was rumoured that he was just... Well, it was rumoured that he's not in the squad. But then it was things that came out that he did travel with the squad. And then it turns out that he actually... Yeah, he didn't start. He was on the bench. And then there was an injury to Timber. And then Gabriel didn't get subbed in for him. Tomiyasu did. So I have no idea if that's tactical or not. Arteta. Thing is, you know, these inexperienced young managers, sometimes they like to just prove a point. Maybe it's something like that. Or it could just be, you know, he's not fully fit. Anyway, I didn't actually choose him. And I wasn't going to choose any Arsenal defenders. Oh yeah, that's also one other change I did because of the leaks. Because of the De Bruyne starting leak. And to get money, I don't... Oh no, because I already had all the Man City spots then, I downgraded Ederson to Ramsdale as I swapped Odegaard to De Bruyne. And yeah, Ramsdale didn't get as many points. Even though Odegaard didn't do anything, he still got more points than De Bruyne. So yeah, that was a proper unlucky. But then the other Arsenal players I had, Boom Saka and Gabriel Martinelli. Oh boy. Well, I was going to say the 2 goals from them were them. Well, technically, but Martinelli didn't score. He assisted. And Nketiah got the other goal. Oh yeah, and then the whole thing with Gabriel and Saliba, and Saliba ended up getting the assist. So, you know, essential Arsenal defender. Saliba is your man. I can't wait for Saliba to get, like, red carded next game. Gabriel, bullet header, and everybody's just crying. That would be hilarious. But yeah, that game, I mean, Arsenal, it's always with Arteta and his game management, right? They always look really good at the start, even if if Arsenal look good and then score, that it just goes downhill, because Arteta's game management, he doesn't push them forward. Whenever especially if they're only like a goal up, he's like, stay back. And they just invite all of the unnecessary pressure. I swear half of the FPL clean sheets that got wiped out from their defenders and Ramsdale last season were all them comfortably up 2-0 and then not caring about the clean sheet. Where, you know, I don't know if it's a lack of concentration. They just don't want to overexert themselves. They're like, it doesn't matter if we concede 1, right? We're still going to win the game. And we don't want to make ourselves too tired to not win the next game. So I know you can see that. But I'm a cheeky scrub who only cares about FPL points. And I see my players not getting FPL points because of that. So I'm like, no, I want them points. But Arsenal, yeah, they got the job done. And unfortunately, yeah, Nottingham Forest did wipe out the Ramsdale clean sheet. So the bench boost, I say the bench boost got off to a bad start. That's the second game, and that was the bench boost over. Because the whole point of this match reaction vlog that he did of bench boosting game week 1 and reaching 3rd in the world. I don't know, have I mentioned I got 3rd in the world? Yeah, I'm not sure I have. The whole point of that was that I was going to make that vlog on the Saturday, which was yesterday to the day I'm recording. But this is actually going out on Monday, so I don't know why I said yesterday. And I did that so that all of my players are playing on the Saturday, so I can make the vlog straight away. But I also made all of my bench players on the bench boost just the first 2 games, so I could actually watch and react to them. So, and I feel like in the video, you know, I got a good balance, because you probably should show it here, actually. I kind of show, oh no, this is just the De Bruyne getting injured. Kevin! I did actually, like, almost show the game and show the goals, but obviously not in video form because copyright. I just took screenshots of different places that I could find, and that's the copy left way of saying it, I think. I think that's a term for it, you know, where, you know, it's not technically right. I technically don't have the use for it, but you know, I'm putting my own spin on it, and I'm not using it commercially independently, so I think it's okay, right? We'll soon find out if my channel gets deleted next week. But yeah, that was the bench boost done, and I was kind of sitting there after that, after those 2. Actually, I had 50 points after them because of the Saka got all the bonus points for there. And after 50 points, after just 2 games, I was like, oh, that's pretty good. But I have had my captain play. My bench boost is now played. So, you know, now I'm on level field with everyone. That's not how it works, but, you know. Yeah, 50 points. And I think I was about 100,000th in the world then. So, you know, I was like, oh, that's pretty good. Again, I got all the screenshots of me being ahead of the content creators because nobody else has had 6 players play by now. Most people only had, like, what, like 3? Maybe 4, but probably 3. And I think people were around, what, maybe half those points? Because you still got the 26 from Haaland. So, yeah, maybe like 30, 40 points. So it wasn't too far ahead of them. But I think I was around 100,000th in the world after the 2 games. And I was like, you know what? If this is the highest I get, I'll be happy with that. But no, I managed to get higher. Do you know why? Do you know how you know that? Because have I mentioned I got 3rd in the world? I'm not sure I have. Because then we moved on to the 3 o'clock kickoff games with Bournemouth vs West Ham, where I had Bowen and Solanke. Brighton Luton, where I had triple Brighton, double Brighton defence. Everton Fulham, which is actually the only game of the entire weekend I did not watch because, you know, I don't hate myself. And Sheffield United Palace, where I had triple Palace, double Palace defence, and Eze. So, as it was going on, I need to kind of remember the order of things here. So, I'm pretty sure there was like no goal for like 20 or 30 minutes. And everybody was like, yay, Premier League football is back, right? But with me, I had 2 double defences on clean sheets on the line with double Brighton and double Palace. So I was like, you know what? If all of the games end 0-0, I'll be happy with that. At least I've got the clean sheets in, right? But then, what was one of the first goals? I think Brighton probably scored first. I think, was it Pedro? Pedro missed an open goal right from the start, and everybody was like, see, can't trust a 5.5 million attacker for Brighton. He's going to be rotation risky and all that, and he misses the chances he gets. And then he goes and wins a pen and scores a pen. And everybody's like, no, best 5.5 million midfield forward in the game. Well, hey, Jed Pedro, hey. I mean, I wasn't like that. I was one of the first people to get him in straight away. But then he actually turned out to be a pretty good option. I was like, well, he's already in my team. And, you know, even though I'm trying to be different, he's good enough for me. And then after that, I can't quite remember the order, so I'll just go game by game. Bournemouth-West Ham, I actually was watching 4 games, right? I had, like, Swansea game in front. Best fantasy Premier League team, right? But then on the left, I think I had the Brighton game because I got triple A. And then on the right, I was watching the Palace game and the Bournemouth-West Ham. So the Bournemouth-West Ham game was pretty even, I would say, from, you know, when you got 4 games on, are you actually watching any? Even the one game I was mainly watching, I feel like I missed half of it. But yeah, it seemed pretty even from Bournemouth-West Ham. And I had 2 attackers, so I was like, is this a good thing for me? Because, you know, more likely for them to actually go out and try and score goals. And yeah, it turns out it pretty much was. So West Ham managed to get a goal with Jared Bowen. I chose Bowen just because I wasn't really sure what other midfielder to go for. And fixture-wise, him against Bournemouth, even though the Bournemouth this season isn't quite the Bournemouth that we know, we should remember that for Game Week 2 as well, because they did well enough to, you know, get some points in this game. Especially when you got Solanke up top, you know, you can do anything. But yeah, they're not the Bournemouth we knew, but good enough for Bowen to still get a goal and get, how many bonus points to get? He got 3 bonus points as well. See, I completely forgot. And Solanke. When there's so many games on and so many things, I was like, you know, it's hard to keep track. I was just refreshing my rank. Actually, no, that's a lie. So during these 3 PM games, I didn't look at my rank because I was watching all the games. I completely forgot about my rank and doing well. And then, yeah, again, I can't remember the order, but Bowen scored, and then Solanke scored. No, I think Solanke scored, like, towards the end. Bowen scored first half, probably. I say probably. I could look this up. It doesn't matter. Stop. Right, welcome to Nathan Bacon Jerky, where I chat shit for too long, and then you're like, right, he's been talking for about 10 minutes, giving absolutely no use of knowledge, information. But at least we had fun, right? All right, that's what I'm going for. So yeah, Bowen scored there, and then I think Brighton, I think they scored a couple of goals. March scoring a goal from a Matoma assist, I think was the first one. And obviously I didn't have them, and they were owned by others. And I was like, there you go. There's a screenshot. The potential of having a high rank in a screenshot, you know. The potential of being 4th in the world. Nah, that could never be me. I would never be able to get that high, right? What? I did. And then my double Brighton clean sheet got wiped. Get the Andrex out, wipe that straight away. That is a shite analogy, literally. But yeah, the double Brighton defense got wiped out, and I was like, oh no, that's the dream over. That's the dream over. Surely, surely, surely. And then when that got wiped out, no, I think it was before then. It was in about the 70th minute. I don't think Solanke had scored yet. I think it was 1-0 Palace, but the goal was by Eduardo, assisted by Ayew, so none of my players involved. But I think in around the 70th minute in those games, I looked at live FPL. I was like, right, I mean, I've got a couple of clean sheets in, you know, it's doing pretty well. Solanke hadn't scored by that point as well. Yeah, that's what it was. So at that point, I had the Man City points, the Arsenal points, obviously, because that was before. And I also had the Bowen goal and the Palace clean sheet. Those are the only ones in right now. Oh, and the Brighton clean sheet. But obviously that didn't stay. But at the time, that was in. And then when I looked at our live FPL, I looked at it, and I couldn't believe my eyes. 9th. And I was like, nah, surely. Am I like clicked on a league? Am I just like 9th in a particular league or whatever? No. I was 9th in the world. And I was like, what? How? And then I don't know what changed. I checked it literally 2 minutes later. There wasn't even another goal, but maybe bonus switched around or whatever. And then I was 8th in the world. And I was like, nah. Refreshed again because I didn't believe it. 7th in the world. And I was literally like, I didn't know what to feel, honestly. I mean, this whole podcast is how it feels to be 3rd. So I don't know how it felt to be 7th. But I can tell you how it felt to be 3rd, which we'll get on to. But yeah, when I was looking at it, I was generally looking at my phone and just laughing in disbelief. Because, like, even though this team was a joke, or I'm doing it for content, because, you know, I can admit that, I am. I didn't expect to get that high. Because, like, that means I've almost got everything completely perfect. And at that time, because I had the Brighton clean sheets, I almost did. And I was like, nah. How can this is it. I need to get all the screenshots. I was literally like 50 points ahead of any other content creator at this point. And I was like, right, this is peak. This is my FPL career. Get the screenshot and that's it. It's all down from here. And then the Brighton clean sheet got wiped out. And I was literally crying. I was. Because I was like, no, that's the dream. That's the dream over. And it's done, you know. My double defense clean sheet, I was probably like, what, like 8 of my points, probably a bit more bonus at that time as well. And yeah, I don't know what my rank went down to straight away. Actually, yeah, I remember I was refreshing Live FPL to try and see what my rank was after the clean sheet wipeout. But I don't know if it was Live FPL having a lot of traffic or FPL taking long to wipe out the clean sheet points, defender points or whatever. But my rank didn't change straight away, and it still said my defenders were on for a clean sheet, and I was like, okay. Checked it another 5 minutes later, it still wasn't updated, and I was like, Then there was no other goals in any of the games. And then Solanke went and scored. And I was like, oh, wait, hang on. Solanke points, I mean, what is he owned by? 3%. That was probably, maybe even under for Game Week 1 as well. And out of those 3%, they probably don't have a lot of my other players, so the people who did have Solanke and got those points probably weren't up, you know, in the high ranks of 3rd in the world or whatever. Oh, no, have I mentioned that? I don't know yet. But yeah, I saw the Solanke goal and I was like, oh wait, hang on, this could be good. This could be good. Even though the Brighton clean sheet got wiped out, the Solanke goal could boost me back up. Maybe I can be in the top 10 again. And I refreshed it, and I was 4th in the world. And I was just in more disbelief, because I was like, I've just lost... Sorry, microphone. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I was just in complete disbelief that even though I've just lost a double clean sheet, and most people had them as well, like, pretty sure the people, like, top in the world had some as well, because who wouldn't? And even without that, I was up at 4th in the world. And I was like, nah. This can't be real. This can't be real. And then... might not be in the exact order, but then Eze was literally taking all of the free kicks, corners, and everything for Palace. He's literally the Grealish of Villa now. Eze whipped in a ball, and Anderson, my defender, bulleted-headed it, and I think it was saved or he was just missed. That would have been a defender goal who is literally owned by, I think he's my lowest owned player, 1.3%, and an assist for Eze, which will probably put Eze on the bonus points. That would have actually got me 1st in the world. And when I saw that, I was like, no, imagine. You know, this 3rd in the world isn't good enough for me, right? I need to be 1st. I need it. But yeah, the Solanke goal. And then I refreshed again after that. And I went up to 3rd. And that is when I got this screenshot, which, you know, I might frame it. I know it's not an official FPL screenshot. Some people might not claim it because not only is it mid-game week, it's literally mid-game. But at a point, I was 3rd in the world with 96 points. See, as you can see here, the Solanke has had the goal, but the Brighton clean sheet was wiped out. This is pretty much the points. João Pedro was on all of the bonus points by then. He did actually lose them all and then get a bonus point, which flipped my rank again. But I think the only points I was missing from there to my actual team in the end... where was it? Was it just the Pedro? Pedro? I don't know. Anyway, oh, yeah, that's where it was, wasn't it? It was... Oh, yeah, Anderson didn't have all the bonus points. And then when I looked again, I think he then went up to 3 bonus points, which was the thing that to push me all the way to 3rd in the world. I still can't believe it. Like... All right, we'll get on to this. But I was obviously posting my rank as soon as I was getting these screenshots. Because, you know, I was like... I'm a cheeky scrub. I'm unlucky, boy. I'm not good FPL player. I'm just having fun. And I'm third in the world. What? Please acknowledge this, because I need to reassurance that this is real. I didn't believe it was real. But yeah, we'll get on to all of the, I don't want to say hate, but all the comments and stuff I had on Twitter, or buzzkills, let's say. But yeah, I think towards then, when the 3 o'clock games were ending, Bournemouth 1-1. I got both of the goal scorers in that, and that was the whole point of me picking Bowen and Solanke. I thought there was going to be goals. I thought it maybe won't be more than 2, but I got both the goal scorers in both the goals, so perfect with that. Brighton, oh yeah, and then right at the end, that's what it was. This is all over the shop. Welcome to Nathan Bacon Jerky. This is unscripted bacon, and you realise I'm literally like, boop, 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 boop. You know when there was like maps, you just see like all the neurons like firing? That is literally me with my thoughts during this podcast. Yes. But yeah, right at the end, a Stupinan got an assist. Can't remember who assisted. I think he was a new Brighton wonder kid, because, you know, where do they spawn these from? Honestly, though, where do they find these amazing wonder kids from? Like, they had a player playing this weekend called James Milner. Never heard of him. He's the best player on the pitch. I reckon he's got a massive career ahead of him. Definitely. Could even be captain of a big player, maybe in like Liverpool or something at one point, you know? But yeah, even though João Pedro was only involved in 1 goal in the Brighton game, where they scored 4, he still got a goal and also got 1 bonus point, so we'll definitely take that. My double clean sheet, yeah, like I said, was wiped out. Oh, big unlucky. But at least Estupinan got the assist, which somehow pushed him to 3 bonus points, even though he didn't have a clean sheet and he got a yellow card. So fair play to Estupinan. And yeah, I can't believe Carlton Morris was the one to score for Luton as well. If it wasn't Brighton, I would have gone for Carlton Morris, because he was very low owned as well. And watch him go and score like 20 goals. He is the next Pookie, right? Not a Pookie party. We need a Morris Moon party. Moonshine Morris. That's what we're going for. Next game then, Everton Fulham. Again, I didn't have any players in that one, but in a few drafts, I switched back and forth between some Everton players and some Fulham players. I think my very first draft, I actually had Leno on my bench boost, and Leno ended up getting 9 saves, all of the bonus points, and 12 points. So if I got him, I would have definitely been first in the world at a point. So fair play to him. But in my draft after that, I almost had Pickford, who made 1 save and got 2 points. And I almost had Tarkowski, who obviously didn't get a clean sheet either. So, I mean, yeah, I think I was going to have one of them. And I was going to have Tarkowski over one of my Palace defenders. So that worked out. So even though I lost the points in the Leno, you know, I updated it. I tinkered it around a bit. It wasn't too bad. But I was quite surprised by that result, because Everton had like 30 shots, more shots than me on a student night out, and didn't get a goal. And then Fulham literally had like no chances and then scored. So that's just the way it goes, isn't it? Palace, though, I was expecting them to score more. I mean, if you had told me it was just a 1-0, I'd be like, what? And if you told me that Eze wasn't involved, I'd be like, what? And to be fair, I think he had something crazy like I think he had 8 chances created, 2 or 3 big chances created, and then like 5 shots. Like, what? More involved than... I'm not going to say what went to my head there. More involved than a person that is the main player in their team. Great analysis. And then obviously I got the double clean sheet from there as well. Anderson getting the bonus points. Absolutely love that. I think he had a really good game. He almost scored. Every time I was looking over to the screen, he was literally running out from the defence. And I was like, hang on, have I got Anderson or bloody prime Roberto Carlos over here? You know, the players that are very similar apparently. But then, yeah, that was the end of the 3 o'clock games. And I think at the end of the 3 o'clock games, I was... What rank was I then? I wasn't third. I was only third for a brief moment, not at the end. I think at the end of the 3 o'clock games, I think I was around 7th, 8th. Yeah, I think it was around 6th, 7th, 8th in the world. So it's still top 10 in the world, all right? Please forgive me, not third in the world at the end of those games, but still pretty damn well, right? So you could say the bench boost, I mean... yeah, the bench boost. I mean, if you do the actual FPL thing where your 3 cheapest players are on your bench, then to be fair, my bench boost is still pretty damn good, because that's a Rico Lewis, one of my Crystal Palace clean sheets, and then, what, Eze? Pedro? And those actually got points, so that was actually a pretty good bench boost. And then, yeah, so, yeah, obviously I was posting about all of this on Twitter, because, you know, I'm just really, like, proud, but also, like, look, I'm tweeting, like, look at me, but not in a, oh, look at me, I'm third in the world. I'm like, look at me, I did this. I don't believe it. This is not me. I'm supposed to be the ha-ha funny guy, not the serious guy, and I did this. Wait. But yeah, some of the comments, to be fair, I will say at first, I had a lot of positive messages, right? Because obviously, I'm not playing FPL seriously. I'm not, like, I know the bench game week 1 isn't the best time to use the bench boost, although it's not the worst time. It's not like I'm going to lose out on like 50 points just from using it here, you know. But I did have a lot of positive comments, you know, people saying like, oh, you know, it's so great to see people in the community doing this. A lot of you cheeky scrubs out there were like, go on, Bacon Boy, yes, Bacon Lad, oh, hey. Appreciate you all, by the way, who's loving it. And then also we had like some big content creators, you know, cheering me on and saying, well done, Nathan, you know, proud of you. And I was like, ah, it's a very like top 10 FPL moment in my entire life. No, to be fair, FPL is all about fun. Somebody made a comment that in my last Kneejerk podcast, I said the word fun literally about 50 times. But do you know what? This was the 51st time, because this right here was the most fun I've ever had in FPL. The moment I looked at my screen and then saw 9th in the world, 4th in the world, 3rd in the world, that's peaked. I might as well delete the app. I might even do it on this podcast, shall I? No, I can't be asked. But honestly, I'm not going to get an FPL moment better than that until I free it next week. And then imagine if I hit first in the world then. That would be pretty good. But yeah, honestly, I've peaked. That is it. So I appreciate all of your nice comments. But obviously, there was a lot of buzzkill geezers, fellas out there that just like to spread negativity, don't they? I mean, I wouldn't call it hate, but you know, there's always the people like, oh, you splunked too early as usual. I mean, yeah, to be fair, how did you know? Wait, are you my girlfriend? What? That was a joke. But yeah, a lot of people like, oh, why did you do that? Oh, it's obviously not a great team. You're gonna be a bottom 10 millionth you're gonna be bottom 5 mil by the end of Christmas. Like, no, mate, I'm going for bottom 10 millionth Christmas. Get it right. But then there was a lot of people that was just like, oh, you're only doing this for fame. You're only doing this for content. And then I'm like, well, yeah, like. I obviously I'm not expecting all the people to see it to like know why I've done that, but I have literally done this team and literally chose all my players in Game Week 1 just to make a video for the Saturday, just to get a high rank. I mean, my plan worked way too well, and I didn't expect to literally reach 3rd in the world. I did not expect to put something like that in the title of the video, but I literally did do it for the video, and I wouldn't change any of it. But yeah, a lot of the buzzkill, you know, spoiling my fun. I mean, they were literally reiterating why I'm doing it without actually knowing it. But yeah. And then unfortunately it did go downhill. See, I already said I peaked. People say it's only downhill from here. No, it didn't even last for that long. Literally straight down the next game. When Newcastle vs Villa. So, I was actually a bit of a cheeky scrub with this final team, right? Where when I did the final Tinkers, I didn't realise that I had the budget to not change Pope to Martinez. So I had Pope and changed him to Emi Martinez in goals as my final change. But I still had 0.5 million in the bank. Oh, you can't even see it. It's right there. I still had 0.5 million in the bank. I mean, that would have only got me 2 extra points. But 2 extra points up in mine is the difference between 73rd in the world and like 20th. So it could have been so much better. But I'll take the 73rd at the end of yesterday. And then today, I mean, boysies, even after today, I didn't have any players play in the games today, which we will get to. I'm still 201st in the world. 201st. Ah, see, I said I'm first in the world. The 200 is silent, all right? That's how it works, right? But yeah, honestly, this went way better than expected. I'm super, super proud of this video I made. Because not even just the concept of the video and what it is, just the actual video content itself is like, well, I was up till 3 a.m. doing it. And I hate staying up and making videos because I'm like, nah, I can just edit it tomorrow. But I was like, no, I need to get this out because the whole point of it was only selecting players on the Saturday. And I was like, no, I need to get this out whilst all the buzz is still there, you know. And I am actually so proud of that video. Already loads of nice comments, so I appreciate you, all of you. Thank you very much. And hopefully we can keep those style of videos going, as we'll obviously do one next week for the free hit. And then after that, I'm going to be doing all different kinds of things. I'm going to be doing FPL Dare stuff, like, you know, somebody mentioned about how FPL Dare used to do dares to select his team, all that. I'm going to do all them. I'm going to do loads of forfeits. I did maybe have to do a forfeit in this video. The actual idea of this video wasn't I bench boosted and got a good rank. It was actually I bench boosted, and if my bench boost failed, I had to do a secret forfeit. Now, I'm not going to actually say now if I had to do a secret forfeit because I want you to watch the video. But if I did have to do that secret forfeit and it did end up being hot sauce and I did have to end up doing a shot, then it wasn't a nice experience if I had to do that. But you'll have to watch the video to find out if I did have to do that. Okay. Right, so yeah, that was the end of the Saturday games and a pretty successful game week 1. That was my game week 1 done. I mean, there's still 3 game weeks to go. There's still 1 game to go from when I'm recording this. But that was it. That was it for me. I was 101 points. Oh yeah, during the Newcastle Villa game. So yeah, if I did have Pope, I would have had 2 more points. Not too bad. But yeah, Villa conceded 5 goals. Cheeky scrubs right there. Proper unlucky. Because they were supposed to be the next best thing. You know, I put them 3rd in my Premier League predictions to finish all the way up there. And I was conceding 5 goals. That was pretty unlucky. And at a point, Martinez almost got red carded. I was on 100 points before that game. So I was like, right, as long as Martinez doesn't get minus points, I am literally over 100 points in the first week. I love that. He then conceded 2 goals straight away and got a yellow card. So he was already in -1 points. And I was like, oh no. And then that yellow card was almost a red card. And I was like, oh no. And then he ended up conceding all the goals, which did bring him back down to -1 again. But thankfully, he made 7 saves. And without that, he would have had the minus points because he got the yellow card as well. So thankfully, he made some saves. Like, he conceded 5 goals and still made 7 saves. So, you know, my prediction on choosing Martinez wasn't too bad, right? He probably got one of the most saves out of most of the keepers. I just didn't really think about the goals. Maybe I should have thought about that one, you know. But yeah, that was the end of that game. And then today, obviously, we've had Brentford vs Spurs. I realise I haven't really chinwagged about the games and players in them. But, you know, I got 3rd in the world. It's all about me right now, all right? No, to be honest, though, this is my peak FPL experience. So I want to converse and try and portray how I felt during these moments. Because I'm never going to feel this. And in a week, I'm going to forget about this feeling. And then I can just rewatch this video and be like, hey, remember that time I got 3rd in the world? Let's do it again. So yeah, Brentford Spurs, a pretty exciting game to be fair. Spurs, no Kane now. No Kane. All the pain incoming from them. Richarlison is a pretty damn bad downgrade, isn't he? Like, Kane to Richarlison. That's like watching Let's Talk FPL, watching FPL Mate, and then coming over here to me, chatting shite for 40 minutes and getting absolutely... You get minus FPL knowledge from me, not just some tips. So, you know, that's the comparison I'm going for there. But yeah, Brentford, I mean, they were pretty... I don't know if you'd say lucky to get the 2 goals, but did it go down as an own goal in the end? No, it didn't. Whistle goal and a pen. Mbuemo, oh, to be fair, he missed an open goal and then scored a pen. That just shows... That just sums up Mbuemo as an FPL asset. Spurs, though, they're going to be pretty hard to go for because Son's expensive. Kulusevski didn't look attacking at all. But then Maddison looked very good. And yes, he did get 2 assists. I mean, the second one was not an assist. It was like the Busquets to Messi assist, if you know what I mean. It was literally like tap it. And there was like somebody hits it from outside the box. And, oh, you scored. I mean, I didn't create that chance. So did I assist you? But yeah, it's an assist. But then, yeah, without a Kane there, is he going to get that many assists? I mean, 2 today, it's not bad. It's not bad. Will he keep that up? That is something to keep an eye on. And then in the next game, then, Chelsea-Liverpool. Literally all-out attack in this game. You know, in FIFA, we used to have, like, ultra defensive, all-out attack. Both teams were all-out attack. Well, Liverpool, I know they don't have a defensive midfielder, but a midfield 3 of McAllister, Soberslai, and Gakpo. What? You could have put me in the midfield, and I would have actually made them a better team today. They need, like, these players aren't bad players, obviously, but to have absolutely no defensive ability there at all. I mean, McAllister's not bad, but he's not great. He's not good enough defensively by himself, especially against a team like Chelsea. But to be fair, no, I say they did all right. I mean, they did okay to only concede one. They could have conceded a lot more, but it was literally like a ping-pong match. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Could have got all the goals, and surprisingly, only a 1-1. Chelsea should have basically given away a pen. Jackson literally sparked out the ball, had a little punch, but they didn't give a pen for that because, you know, the handball rule. It's not a rule. It's not. It's just if the referee fancies giving a penalty or not. That's literally what it comes down to now. Salah, though, that is the one thing I want to mention about this game. Salah got an assist straight away. Oh, pretty good. Gets a goal. Oh, it's offside. Ah, I like it. But then gets subbed off in the 76th minute when Liverpool are chasing to win the game for Harvey Elliott. And Salah is fuming. He's taking off his wrist wrap, and I swear he was clenching his fist. He was going to spark out Klopp. But he didn't. But it looked like he did. It looked like he wanted to. And to be fair, is that a bad thing or a good thing going into next week? As we'll get on to next, where I will be free hit. Then I'm going to try and build my free hit team as well, you know. But will we have an angry Salah like, oh, I need to show. You can't sub me off. I need to show. I need to play. Or will we get a Salah that's benched because Klopp is like, no, I'm not having you having a strop. It's about the team, not you. We shall see. But yeah, that was the end of that game. And that was the end of game week 1. Because there's still Man United Wolves to play, which is tomorrow for me. Later, if you watch this today, it goes out. And I don't even know. I hate it when people explain, this is going out today. This is going out. It doesn't matter. Stop it. Man United Wolves on Monday, which hasn't happened for me yet. And that's on. And that's all. That's all. So now we'll move on to next week. The moment we've all been waiting for. Technically, the game week 2 knee jerk. You know, we've grabbed our knee and we're jerking it because we watched the games. I watched all of the games, apart from the boring games. To be fair, there was quite a lot of them, but we watched all the games. So I feel like I have good knowledge of what players we should choose for next week and what players we should put in our teams, especially if we're on a free hit team and you could select any player. Hey, wouldn't that be pretty good? Yes, it shall. So I'm going to quickly go through the games one by one and kind of decide, have a little mention about what players we could at least consider. And then after that, I'll actually go up trying to build my free hit team because I won't be doing, I'm not doing team selection videos anymore. So I'm not going to be like, hey, here's my free hit game week 1, game week 2 team. Nah, not doing that anymore. So you'll just see it on Twitter or on the YouTubes. Or just wait until my next week match reaction vlog. Hey, that's pretty good. All right, so the first game, another Friday deadline. I swear we got 3 in a row. What are they doing with that? Cheeky scrubs. I want to get on. Oh wait, I got a work party on Friday. I can't even watch this game. Sorry guys, I can't come. I'll just be there, you know, laptop there on a Zoom meeting. Or what's that? Yes, I think we should really go work on our goals. Yes, that sounds good to me. Hey, I did a funny. Quick, make a clip. I never do that. So the first game, Nottingham Forest, Sheffield United. To be fair, Nottingham Forest, did they play well? I think they played okay. Their squad is not great. They've got a few good players, like Premier League players now. Like Alanga, when he got subbed on, looked pretty good. He is definitely good enough for the Prem. But how far could he, how high is his ceiling? How far can he go? I'm not sure. Brennan Johnson, I love him. Not just because I'm Welsh and he's Welsh. Well, he's not even born in Wales, but he plays for Wales, so that's all that matters, right? And also Morgan Gibbs-White. He's got a soft spot in my heart because he was on loan at Swansea and he was doing incredible. And then they recalled him, which was really annoying. But they also have a Awoniyi up top who's scoring all the goals. He was absolutely firing them in the end of last season. He was a little bit of an injury in game week 1, so he didn't start, but he still comes on and scores. So definitely, if you're going to consider players in that game, especially Forest at home, Forest are always better at home. They almost beat Man City last year, didn't they? Or they got a draw at least, didn't they? Was that away when Chris Wood scored? Or was he involved in the goal? Either way, they are better at home. And when Steve Cooper gets out the then you know it's all over, right? So in that game for them, you've got quite a few players you could probably consider. If you're on a free hit, don't consider them if you're not. No, actually, do consider them if you're not, because playing FPL the right way, you know. None of this actual FPL advice over here. It's just about having fun. And triple Nottingham Forest in FPL sounds fun, right? Why? Because it's not something you should be doing. And that's why it's fun. So I definitely am considering definitely a UNLUCKYYY. And then definitely at least one of Morgan Gibbs-White or Brennan Johnson. Brennan Johnson... Is he still on penalties? Probably. But he could even not be playing for Nottingham Forest by come Friday because he's been linked away to like Brentford and other places. So I don't know about that. But Morgan Gibbs-White, he is definitely in it. He is definitely involved. When they're at home as well, you know, a bit more of the ball. I'm trying to right now. I have no idea. I'm just guessing. But I'm expecting him to get quite involved in that. And Sheffield United, they actually looked better than I thought they would against Palace. But again, they were home and they basically showed no threat, so that's probably a sign of things to come, because their squad, I swear they started 6 defenders with Basham in midfield, and then they also they sold Ndiaye, or Ndiaye, I don't know how to say it. They sold him, who was their best player last year, to Marseille, and then they also sold Sander Berg. Now they were trying to get rid of him last year, or cash in for him, should we say. But then they go and sell him just before game week 1. And not only sell him, but sell him to the other team you got promoted with, who are literally going to be the one team, or one of teams, that you're going to be fighting for to stay in the Premier League. Like, they're selling your best players, then they're selling them to your literal rivals this season that could make you get relegated if you weren't close enough already. What are you doing? So yeah, I think Forest are in for a good one there. I think they could get on it. Do they have the capacity, the capabilities to score 2, 3, 4, 5? Yeah, why not? Why not? Chris Wood, captain. Oh, why am I saying stuff like that as a joke? Because now I want to do it. You're not even going to play. You might even not be in the country playing for under 23 teams by now. Sorry, under 52 teams by now. But Chris Wood, captain. Who says no? I don't. So yeah, that game, definitely some Forest attackers, if no other games look good. I've just spent 5 to 10 minutes talking about Nottingham Forest, Sheffield United. This is the type of FPL content you don't get to see anywhere else, for a reason. Right, the next game, Fulham Brentford. So Fulham, they're in a weird sticky pickle right now. Almost all of their best players are being poached by, you know, Saudi Arabia and the rich clubs right now. Even their manager. But then they're not going. But then is Mitrovic going? Well, he didn't start, so probably. But then he did come on, so I don't know about that. And then they signed Raul Jimenez, so I was like, oh, Mitrovic is definitely going. But then he came on again. I was like, oh. Willian then signed a new contract and then apparently accepted an offer to Saudi Arabia. And I was like, oh, that's a bit weird. Accept a contract and then get another big contract somewhere else. You're like, no, I'll go. But then he then started. I was like, oh, maybe he is okay. But then he got subbed off at halftime. So I was like, wait, what's going on? But at the end of the day, they only scored 1. Who scored? Can't remember. I could look. Can't be asked. And they conceded a lot of shots. Now, I don't know if that was Everton being good. I just realised what I said. Fulham probably going to concede all the shots. So Brentford attackers could be good there. Because even though it's Fulham at home, and Fulham are good at home, when Brentford are away and when the team invites pressure onto them, that's when they thrive, especially in this formation that they play in, but they probably won't play that against Fulham, where they have 2 attackers, 5 at the back, wing-backs push up, counter-attack FC. I think Wissa or Mbuemo could be good for that. And let's please move on, because I don't want to be talking about a crappy game for 5 minutes. Liverpool-Bournemouth. Ooh! Stephen Klopp. Where are you, lad? I want to be watching this game with you. But yeah, Liverpool, I wasn't impressed with them against Chelsea. Not impressed. No. Gonna get relegated now. But yeah, no, their transfer business has been quite interesting, right? They said, is this turned into the transfer podcast show? Like, I was supposed to be talking about the games. We chat shy, we talk about whatever we want here, and I'm loving it. Yeah, so Liverpool, they apparently couldn't afford Bellingham or didn't want to put that much in for him. Okay, yeah, fair. And then they go and try and get Lavia, and then bid 5 times and get rejected every time. And they're like, no, right, we will accept for 50 million, 30 million, no, 35 million, no, 40 million, no, 45 million, no, 48 million, no, 50 million, 2 million more and you got him. Nah, I don't want him. Like, what? Why? And now, even crazier, they bid a world record fee for them and for a Premier League player, I think. 110 million for Caicedo. 110 million. Now, if they didn't want to put in the money for Bellingham, but then after all this, go and buy Caicedo for more, and he's not as good of a player, what are you doing? And then the worst part is, Brighton accept that, and then Caicedo doesn't accept that. He doesn't want to go to Liverpool. And now they're scrambling, potentially going to spend more than 50 million on Lavia and maybe someone else. And the season started and they're just in an absolute mess. They got so many good attackers, but, you know, games are won and lost in the midfield. If you can't get that balance in there to win the ball back and give it back to your attackers, then it's wasted. That's the only good ball knowledge I've got. All right. But what won't be wasted will be FPL potential year, because Liverpool against Bournemouth on a free hit, boys, it's got to be done. Triple Liverpool attack. I don't know if that's going to be a Salah, Nunez, Jota, Szoboszlai, Diaz, McAllister, Jota. No, best one. Ryan Brewster's going to come back to Liverpool and score. Confirmed in my team. Or I could go for Trent. See, not many people actually stuck with Trent at the end. This could be a game. He could get all of the points. Anyway, I'm definitely getting all the Liverpool players in on my free hit. It's got to be done, right? Wolves-Brighton then. Wolves haven't played yet this season for me, so I don't quite know about that. But Brighton did look pretty damn good. Oh yeah, I forgot. This is also a blank game week, isn't it? For Burnley and Luton. See, I knows. FPL tips over here. No, that's copyrighted. No, don't cancel me. Yeah, Brighton, I mean, probably, I doubt Wolves will be great. Gary O'Neill, the Wolves sacked their manager literally, what, a day or two before the season started? What is that all about? So I'm not quite sure how they're going to look. Gary O'Neill's all right. He did well at Bournemouth. Like, give him credit, but it'll be interesting to see how he does with Wolves going into that, because he was involved with Bournemouth, right? He already knew the players when he took over. So it was like, you know, you already have that. But going into a squad, I don't think he has that much experience with that yet. And especially Wolves, they are literally Portugal FC. He's going to be talking to all of them, and they're going to be like, I just kicked football. So yeah, I don't know how they're going to play. But Brighton, I know they're going to play well. So definitely ones to consider. We got Estupiñán. I think he's got to be a guarantee. Even if I think there's other free hit defenders. If I'm challenging second in the world, first in the world, maybe even retain my spot of third in the world, Estupiñán's got to be in because he's so highly ranked and he is just amazing for FPL, right? But then we've also got João Pedro. We've also got Evan Ferguson, Matoma. Oh, I could go on forever. They got so many good attackers. I think March and Matoma are still nailed to start, but they will have minutes chopped off. I think all of their forwards will have minutes chopped off. And even if your one doesn't start, I think they've got enough firepower that they could still come off the bench and score. So I'd go for any of them, to be fair. Whatever one actually looks like started come Saturday or Friday for the deadline. Oh, I'm going to burp. It's that hot sauce that I might have not had to do or do not do in that reaction vlog that you have to watch to find out if I have or have not done the shot that I did do. No, wait a minute. Oh my god, I chat so much shite, it's great. Wolves, I've already done Wolves. Boom. Wolves gone. Spurs and Man United. So yeah, Spurs, I was pretty No, I wasn't impressed. No. I'm impressed with the way they are trying to play, but I don't think they've got the play. Take Kane out of that team and take Son at his current playing ability, not the Son that we know. And that team is mid. The definition of mid. And not just mid, the meme version of mid. The mid-table version of mid. Because without that, they are literally they're like an Everton, honestly, right now. They're like a Palace. They are like a couple of good players, like decent team, but it's nothing special. It's honestly nothing special. And I thought they would do well, but selling Kane now, they really need to invest that around the squad. But then they're in the worst situation where they've got enough players, but they need a little upgrade in every position. And obviously that takes a lot more time than a team that is worse, because then you could just buy a player and be like, you're guaranteed to start. But you got so many players fighting for positions, it's always hard to let them actually gel and show off their skills and show off their true potential. Again, I have no clue what I'm talking about, but it sounds right. But yeah, will I go for any players in that game? Don't know. I haven't seen Man United play this year yet, obviously, because they're the ones that are playing Wolves, and that is later today, if you're watching this today. So yeah, Spurs players, I mean, we've got Maddison, but I doubt I will attack that fixture for the free hit, just because Man United are probably not the worst defence, or the defence that we should try and attack right now. Maybe they are, but I don't think so right now. So Man City, Newcastle, I don't even know if it's worth chinwagging out my free hit, because I don't think I'm going to get any players in the free hit. I think I'm going to go without Haaland. I'm already regretting that decision, but I'm not playing FPL seriously, right? I'm having fun. And I think it'd be pretty fun to keep Haaland. But I also think it could be more fun to not choose Haaland if he doesn't score. So if Pep can like ring me up and tell me if he's going to score or not first, then that would be pretty appreciated, you know. But yeah, that game is going to be pretty hard to call. I think, what was it last year? It was like 2-2 or something, and Trippier still got loads of points. So, you know, that was when everybody was like potentially considering selling Trippier when he was at his peak, and he still got points. I don't think it's going to be the same time this time around. But Newcastle looked good. They looked very, very good indeed. So for the free hit, not too sure about that. It's probably a backup one, you know. If I've got a spare 14 million cash going around, or maybe even a 5.5 million midfielder spot, because, you know, Rodrigo, he's guaranteed to score the goals now. He did it in the first week. He has to do it in game week 2. That's how FPL works, right? But then the next game is Villa vs Everton. Now this game, people are going to be turning quite quickly on their Villa players, I reckon. But this is the exact type of game. Actually, I just realised this is the Jack Harrison derby, right? So Jack Harrison, you know, Leeds player. Fabrizio Romano, you know, here we go. He tweeted out earlier, Everton have activated Jack Harrison relegation release clause, whatever, to loan the player and then have an option to buy. I was like, oh, that's a decent signing for Everton. And then all of a sudden, Aston Villa hijack it. I think he was having the medical, or he was booked in for Everton. And then Unai Emery was like, good evening. Come to us instead. And he was like, yeah, of course. I'm definitely going to come here. And then, after all that, he agrees to Villa. Villa want him, so he's not going to Everton anymore. Then Villa find out that Jack Harrison is injured. And then they're like, you know what? Nah, we don't want you. And now he might not even go to Everton because of all this. Villa, there's hijacking and there's absolutely sabotaging it, right? Sean Dyche is not going to be happy. He's going to be running up to that office and be like, "Oi, Unai Emery, why did you do that?" There we are. Yeah, Villa, though, I think redemption arc start year, right? I mean, it should only take 1 week to start a redemption arc. That just shows how bad they were last week. But I think this week against Everton here, I think they could absolutely do bits. Who would you consider? Watkins, and that's probably it. Diaby looked good, but against Everton, they'll probably have a low block, so I doubt his pace is going to be as useful. Obviously, that's not all he's got, but that is a lot of his firepower. So Watkins is definitely teasing my pickle, tickling my pickle, teasing my neck. That's the one. Yeah, I got to get my sayings right. West Ham, Chelsea then. West Ham, they did okay, but they don't look, you know, they just look average again. Not much better from last season. They haven't really improved much. Signing-wise, they've been terrible because they've lost Rice. And then I think Paqueta was playing as in the double pivot rather than an attacking midfielder. And I feel like you need him, at least to give him some freedom in the midfield, because otherwise he's just wasting all of his talent. And that's why Man City want to buy him, because they see they know his talent. West Ham not using that. So West Ham players definitely not for the free hit, but Chelsea players, I think that could be it. Mudryk, more like Ukraine Bolt. I love that name so much. I heard it earlier. No, I came up with it earlier after I heard it. And I was like, no, you know what? I want him in my team just for that, because that is hilarious. So Chelsea player, Chilwell looked very good. He literally looked like their striker half the time. Jackson looks very good, actually. I was quite impressed with him. He's so strong and fast. He looks like a proper FIFA merchant, right? In FIFA, he's going to be strongest, fastest player. Nobody's going to want to play him. When he's good in FIFA like that, you know he's good in real life. But yeah, you got Chilwell. James played really well, but then James potentially got an injury. What's new? Sanchez starting goals because Kepa is off to Real Madrid. That's not AI generated. It sounds like a meme. It's not. Like, imagine saying last year that Kepa, who finally actually looked okay and nailed down a Chelsea spot, will be going to Real Madrid instead. And then Chelsea are going to buy a goalkeeper from Brighton who's not even starting for them right now. Football, especially Premier League, changes so quickly. It's mad. But Sanchez looked decent. He did look decent, so I think he's definitely going to start. I mean, who else have they even got? I have no clue. They bought enough players. They probably bought 7 goalkeepers this transfer window and nobody even knows. Then just have a random, 15-year-old kid from a random place, because they seem to be scouting all of the proper youngsters. They're doing a Football Manager right now, buying all of the best talent, and they're like, mine. If they become good, they're mine already. If they don't become good, that's element it. But yeah, Sanchez looks good, especially for free hit. He's only 4.5. So that's pretty good. And then the last game, Palace-Arsenal. So again, because I'm going to be making a video, I'm going to be missing players from some games. And this Palace-Arsenal game is going to be pretty tough, I reckon. So I'm actually not going to choose any players from that game on my free hit. But it's still a pretty good fixture for Arsenal players. And even Eze, because Arsenal defence it's not great, honestly. So Eze is probably good there. Arsenal attackers are probably good there. I would probably get rid of Gabriel and get Saliba in instead, right? Because, all the cool kids did that before the deadline. Yeah, so I'm going to do my free hit reaction vlog, much like I did the bench boost reaction vlog. I'm going to do the free hit one on the Sunday of this week and upload it on the Monday. So I'm not going to be selecting players from the Monday's games, because also the video took so long to edit. I'm like, oh, yeah, I need to give myself more time. I don't mind it takes that much time, because, I like to have pride in my work, and I'm not just shoving in the fastest and quickest profitable thing I can get out. I do it all for my own enjoyment. But yeah, I am going to do that vlog there. And that's the games previewed, really, isn't it? I mean, I know I've pretty much only chinwagged about transfers, if teams are crap, and also my free hit, and probably no valuable FPL information. But welcome to Nathan Bacon Jerky. That's all we do here. So because this is already much longer podcast than I already thought. No, I take it back. I was going to just do it off camera and then come back. But no, let's actually do it, right? So I'll probably go for probably forwards first. I'll chuck Haaland in then for now, and then if we need money, we'll get him out. But Haaland, he's probably a decent enough player to choose for the free hit this week, isn't he? Yeah. Then your options are pretty limited. Isak would definitely be one I would look at if he wasn't playing Man City, but I don't know about that. Jackson, Jackson's gonna start. He got 90 minutes. He looked good. I think he could be a decent shout. But is there a better one for cheaper? Bournemouth against Liverpool, Solanke, don't know about that. A Wonyi. Oh yeah, we definitely want a Wonyi. Yeah, definitely get him in. And then after that, maybe a Pedro. Maybe, I was going to say maybe a Carlton Morris, but he's not even playing. We've got some Wolves forwards, but we wouldn't want Wolves forwards because they're crap. So we'll leave that as the forwards for now. Midfielders, it's got to be Salah, right? Am I going to have enough money for Salah and Haaland, though? I'll put him in. Because I'm not going to have any Arsenal mids. And I might not have any Man United mids. So I think we're going to have more of a cheap players around them here. Where else do we go for? We definitely want triple Liverpool. So who have we got for Liverpool? Jota, midfielder... Soberslai looked pretty good, actually. This is actually quite hard to do it on camera whilst I haven't thought about it and I've been talking for an hour. Who else have we got? Well, no, I can't go for Eze. Right, let's go one by one. I think it's better to go team-wise. I'm doing this terribly. Right, Nottingham Forest. Oh, yeah, see? That's much better. Nottingham Forest, because then we can go for Gibbs White or Johnson or both. I'm doing it. Gibbs, White, Johnson, in. Where's John Joe Shelvey? Ah, there he is. Maybe I should captain John Joe Shelvey. Nobody owns him. I could be the first person to own John Joe Shelvey and captain him this year. I'm doing it. I know I'm saying I'm not playing FPL seriously and I'm having fun, but that's too much fun for me. I can't be doing that. Fulham, Brentford. I think some Brentford players could be decent. So, Wooden Buemo. How much is Wissa? Oh, Wissa's a forward. Why is he a forward, man? Tony, let me know what bets I should put on. And if those include Buemo scoring, maybe I should choose Buemo. You know what I mean? The fixtures are just not great to target, are they? Oh, yeah, that's the other forward we wanted. We wanted Ollie Watkins. So we'll probably chuck in Watkins there. We need some Chelsea players in here. So Sterling started, and he did do well, to be fair. So would Sterling start? I reckon a Sterling in there. We'll chuck him in for now, but we got 3 forwards, so no more starting mids. To be fair, oh no, I've only got 1 Liverpool here though. We'll go defenders. We'll get Trent in there. I definitely am not going to have enough money for this, am I? We'll make it work. We'll definitely make it work. Defender-wise, there's not many good defensive fixtures, really, is there? Even though Aston Villa just conceded all the goals, I actually think I will go for... I think I'm going to go for Martinez again. Why not? Everton made a lot of shots last week, but can't score because they're crap. So Martinez could be good for that one. So that's probably the keeper sorted. I'm not going to go double Villa defense, though, because that's just suicidal, probably. Yes. Do we go for some Spurs, Man United players? Oh, Brighton. I'll go get a Stupinan in then, and we definitely get... I'd probably fill it up with Brighton players then, to be honest. A Stupinan in... Oh, we wanted Sanchez. Yeah, no. Martinez is gone. Sanchez is coming in. Where is he? Chelsea. Robert Sanchez in. Defender then. Well, we only need 1 more starting defender. Brighton. I feel like even though double Brighton defense didn't work last week, I feel like it could work this week. So for now, if I do that and just see 4, 8, 12, 16. So we got enough for the bench. Chuck in some fodder in there. Goalkeepers. Any 4 million Oh yeah, we got oh no, I've already got triple Forest. I can't put the Forest goalkeeper in. I mean, this doesn't actually matter, does it? Who's a random geese? Who's funny? Shelvey. No, you can't put him in. Ortega. Yeah, go on then. Ortega, best goalkeeper. Let's get some bench defenders. To be fair, this team is pushing me to second in the world, boys. Better than first in the world. But then could I go for like a chill? Oh, yeah, I feel like I need a Chilwell. Chilwell's got to be in. He's got to be in. Yeah. I changed my mind. I change it. Yeah, right. The bench defenders. I mean, it doesn't really matter. This is just so I can like have a first initial draft that you'll never see until the deadline. I post my final team. I'm like, oh, hey guys, none of these players stayed in my team. This is now my team. Oh yeah, I've got double Chelsea defense here, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Who's a 4.5 can put on the bench? Probably a Pau Torres. I think he's guaranteed to start. Then we can get a 4.5 mil mid. Who can be on the bench? Probably second on the bench. Chukwuemeka. No, we've already got 3 Chelsea. Chelsea. I mean, again, this doesn't really matter. Bob. Oscar Bob. What a name. Oscar Bob, you're in, son. My entire bench is just going to be Man City players. And then I got, there you go. I got perfectly. I got 4 mil for a non-playing or playing defender. We might as well chuck in an actual playing one then, haven't we? So we got Luke Dunn. Kabora, he looked exciting. I mean, not exciting for FPL points, but he got forward. And there we go. Best ever. Free hit confirmed. That's not my free hit team, son. No. I want players that will actually play. So we get him in there. We get him in there. We get him in there. And then we also get him in for Bob. And that... Oh, yeah, Kabora. Nah, free hit in the mud. Kabora, you're not even playing, mate. You call yourself an FPL content creator. You don't even know this. Sheffield United playing, though, aren't they? Yeah, so we might as well get in Baldock. Baldock. We love you, Baldock. We do. Said no one ever. And that right there, best ever free hit team, all right? Triple Nottingham Forest. Double Chelsea defence. I've only got 2 Liverpool. I feel like I need triple Liverpool attack. This isn't free hit enough. This is too much of a regular team. I need more spicy players in there. I'm going to add more spice. What more spice? Do you know what? If we want to add some spice, team selected by, and then go to the last page. All right? And then, maybe we'll go for like, well, to be fair, Johnson, Gibbs White are probably, yeah, Johnson 0.7, Gibbs White 2. What's Sterling's? Sterling's only 1%. What am I on about? This team's owned by no one. Maybe the defense is, but maybe instead of Watkins, we get in a random geezer. We get in like, we get in someone like a Wissa. But okay, we'll leave it as that. As that is Game Week 2 knee-jerked. We've knee-jerked ourselves about the games for Game Week 1, where I reached 3rd in the world. Wait, have I mentioned that yet? I'm not sure I have. And then we are ready for next week, where the free hit is active. Boo, 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 boo. Free hit active. We're going to try and get to 3rd in the world. Again, or better. We shall soon see. I was potentially going to chinwag about some other things in this podcast, but this is over an hour, and my voice is already going, so I think I'm going to leave it as that. So, thank you all for watching. And also, don't be a cheeky scrub. Subscribe to Nathan Bacon right now. Good night.